Hey y'all, what's up? It's Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty, and today I am going to be starting some sweet potatoes. You can start sweet potatoes like 8 to 12 weeks before you put them out in the garden, this what we call slips, or like the plant transplant. You start them indoors in a sunny window from, you guessed it, a sweet potato. Super easy and fun to grow. I grew some last season, and my sweet potatoes were pretty small last time. I did them just in a container, but this year I am putting them in the garden bed, so hopefully we'll have a really good harvest. So this is just a sweet potato that I bought, an organic sweet potato I bought at my local natural grocery store, and you can totally just get whatever kind of sweet potato you have in your local store. Like, don't make it too difficult or crazy. Oftentimes there's, I don't know, like kind of a knock on growing food from grocery store produce, but hey, just try it. Like, if you don't try, you 100% will not get sweet potatoes. So just go for it and give it a try. It's really easy and you have time. So I'm here in zone 8A in North Texas, and our first frost date is around March 18th according to Google. So that gives me ample amount of time to get my slips started, because sweet potatoes are super frost intolerant. They hate frost, they love the heat, they love the warmth. So we want to make sure that we're clear of any chance of frost coming in before we put these out in the garden. So last season when I started my slips, I only did it off of half of a sweet potato because I was just starting. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was just an experiment. So this year I'm actually going to do 2 halves, which equal a whole. I aced math, sort of, in high school. And I'm going to grow slips off of both of these. So what you do, it's really easy, and I have my little helper Zoe here with me. She's so cute. I'm just going to stick a few toothpicks in the sweet potato. Y'all, it's like January and gorgeous outside. Like, the sun is just so energizing. And then set it down, kind of have to finagle it in the top of my jar, like so. So these are my little braces. And then I'm just gonna, to make it easier, I might take this out, add my water first. Add water. And you're gonna wanna like check it in the window because the water will start to evaporate in the sun. And so you wanna make sure that the bottom of your sweet potato is always touching water. So, voila, here we go. And you could even do the toothpicks a little higher so that the bottom of the sweet potato sits down a little further in the glass, so I might do that. And I will say, like, the bottom of the sweet potato is gonna get a little bit like gunky, like it gets a little filmy over time, but as long as it doesn't like stink or it's not like mildewing, you know, you're good to go. It's just gonna sit in water for a few weeks. So there we are. I made a mess with this water, but I'll go ahead and do my second one now too. So these are going to sit on my windowsill in my kitchen for a few weeks, and I'll of course keep you guys posted on all the cool growth. But what's gonna happen are these little slips, plants are gonna start shooting up out of these little eyes on the sweet potatoes. And what you do is, when those are pretty tall and established, you just pop those off and put those in water, and they're going to start forming roots. Okay, and then once you have the roots and it's warm enough outside, that's what you take and put into the garden bed. So I'm not really putting the sweet potato in the garden bed per se. I'm using this to sprout my slips, and then I'll discard it whenever I take those off and start to put those in water to root. Clear as mud. Lily is sleeping, which is, oh, I hear her. It's so rare. That girl does not like to miss out. She has serious garden FOMO, y'all. Serious garden FOMO. But Zozo's gonna help me today. Let's go see if there's any eggs. So with sweet potatoes, just beware, wherever you plant them, they erupt. They go everywhere. So make sure they have space to frolic And what I'm going to be doing is planting my sweet potatoes in rows next to my okra. So okra grows really tall and skinny. Sweet potatoes grow wide out. So they're going to provide like ground cover while my okra can still get enough sun and grow. And so I'm trying to play around with being strategic with where I plant the crops in terms of sunlight and growth habits. So that's just our plan this year. I got a free pack of Japanese giant red mustard from Baker Creek when I made an order a few months back. And I've never really eaten mustard greens. That's not something that's like normal to my diet. Tell them, girl. So I went ahead and just put the whole pack in these 2 pots to make some microgreens to add on, just a little spice or add on to salads or sandwiches or avocado toast, my go-to. And they just look so beautiful, and I've tried a couple of them and they're very spicy, so really good flavor. Microgreens are so easy, y'all, and they have so much nutritional value, so it's a lot of punch for just a little pint-sized plant. Go talk to him, Lily. Go talk to him. We are going to be making a fertilizer tea today. So I've sprinkled some of this in with my onions and just worked it in the soil, watered it really well. But what I'm going to be doing is making a fertilizer tea per the instructions on the bag. So I'm going to do 5 cups of fertilizer in this bucket, representing Texas, y'all. Yeehaw, go Lowe's. And fill it up, the 5-gallon bucket. I'm then going to put my lid on and let it sit overnight, and then strain it and pour this. Bugs is my helper today. Pour it on my garden beds, and hopefully this is going to give me a boost for our planting soon of the broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprout starts that I have going in my guest bathroom right now. So on YouTube, there are videos blowing up about grow lights and seed starting, and it's because now's the time, 'tis the season. But what I did is I got this shelf off of Facebook Marketplace a while back. It's just a metal rack. It's really heavy duty though, very sturdy, and we used it to grow some indoor lettuce last year. But what I'm going to be doing now, as it's transitioned to our sports equipment holder, is I just went and got this grow light. It's a GE grow light LED at Lowe's, and I got it at Lowe's because I'm like, well, if I have to return it, that's much easier than Amazon. So I have a grow bulb in our guest bathroom, but I needed something that was longer because what was happening is I just had the bulb and in like a floodlight type thing, and the seeds on the edge of my tray were growing towards the light, so I needed something that had like a better distribution of light, like the surface area was longer, if that makes any sense. So I got this bar light, and I'm really excited to see how it works. It says it's for greens and seeds, so I have my Haas Seeds tool seed starting tray that I'm going to put down, and then I also have a heat mat to keep it warm in here so that I have some better germination. But being a suburban homesteader, it's just all about finding space and nooks and crannies to do your hobby, and so here I am in my little nook and cranny doing what I love. Knock knock, can I come in? Oh, thank you. So I'm now in the playhouse. What winter is great for is creating your systems and infrastructure. So like this last season, we were just kind of like flying by the seat of our pants, trying to get stuff in the ground and containers whenever the cat took over our garden. And, you know, it wasn't so much planned, but we did a lot of fun experimenting. However, wash. This winter, Reed and I have taken advantage of building our raised beds and getting good soil and amending the soil and making sure that we're prepared and ready to have a great chance of success, but like growing a good harvest for the spring and summer garden this year. So we've learned from mistakes, lots of, I always say it every video, I think, trial and error, but use this time before planting really like gets in full swing to work on your infrastructure. Get your grow lights, get your shelving, get your seed starting stuff. Like you can make your own compost, buy some worms, like whatever it looks like for you to just start. Mom. Just start, right? And start creating those systems that will set you up for success to have a really good time and a abundant crop in the next couple seasons coming up. I can feel spring coming. It's 5:40 and the sun is still out. So it's happening, y'all. We're getting our days back. Thanks for hanging out with us today. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds. Until next time.